Your margins saw a significant uptick in the fourth quarter of financial year 2018. Is this sustainable going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is no real one-off over here. The EBITDA margins should continue to expand. This is one of the focus areas that we have taken even for the next year to expand our margins as we grow the top line exponentially.
So what is the kind of margin expansion one can expect?
So as I keep saying that as we do a lot more value-added services in the logistics industry, which includes warehousing and distribution, the margins tend to grow. Of course, the logistics spend in India is still 90% transportation, and therefore that will also grow simultaneously. And as an organization, we definitely want to grow top line too. But as the mix changes and post GST, as larger warehouses come in, we will see more warehousing being attributed to Mahindra Logistics being the largest organized player in the market.
So your EBITDA jumped nearly 85% compared to last year. So what aided this kind of EBITDA growth in the fourth quarter?
So while we have expanded our margins, one must also understand that we had the consulting fee last year, which now this year has reduced in the last quarter and no longer will be there from the next year.
So the contribution from Mahindra Group to your total revenue was close to 59% in financial year 2018. Do you expect this contribution to remain at same levels or reduce going forward?
So it is not 59%, it is a 54% for the annual numbers that we have got. So our Mahindra and Mahindra business has remained at 54%, which it was last year, because this year Mahindra itself grew by 28% for us, and therefore although we grew the non-Mahindra business by 32%, the Mahindra share has remained at that. But our endeavor, of course, is to grow the non-Mahindra business more rapidly year after year.
Your revenue is also heavily dependent on the auto sector. So how do you plan to diversify this?
So I've said before, we have to look at our segmentation from a Mahindra and non-Mahindra. And if you look at just the non-Mahindra business, which is over 1,000 crores this year, our automotive sector over there is as large as the other three industrial sectors that we operate, which is consumer, e-commerce, and the bulk. So when we moved Mahindra and Mahindra business separately, our non-Mahindra focus on industry verticals is equal amongst all the industry verticals that we operate in.
So if you see, the retail fuel prices are at an all-time high. So what has been the impact of the same on your company? Are you passing on the hike to your clients?
Not really, because in all our transport contracts, there is a fuel escalation clause that is built into the contract with the customer, and therefore it is actually a pass-through that we have. We neither make money on fuel increase or on fuel price decrease, because there is a formula which we work with the customers.
What are the long-term benefits that you see because of GST coming in and because of e-way bill getting implemented?
So absolutely, I think these past 8 months have been unprecedented for the logistics sector, from the policy changes that the government has brought, starting right from the GST to giving us the infrastructure status. Then come the multimodal transport MOUs that have been signed by the ministry. You look at Sagarmala and then regional airports, and to top it all then comes the e-way bill. Now all this put together is definitely going to increase efficiencies in logistics and bring down the cost of logistics. To top it all, we have also got an announcement from the Commerce Ministry that a very senior IAS officer has been appointed as the additional secretary as a one-point contact for logistics. And this is very encouraging for us to hear, because we've been asking for an industry status for this industry for a long point. And now we can bring all our issues to a one point in the ministry. One of the important things we look forward to is to bring standardization in the industry. It is a very unorganized industry, and we look forward to organizing the unorganized. GST is a very clear step. We are definitely going to look at consolidation of warehouses. The networks in India were basically having around 26 godowns in every state, and now you look at large format warehouses which can cater to more than 2 or 3 states in the country. And this kind of consolidation will bring about large format warehouses, and therefore the cost per piece or cost per unit of warehousing is definitely going to go down.
So what are your capex plans for financial year 2019, and what would be the major growth drivers for Mahindra Logistics in FY19?
We are an asset-light organization, and our capex spends are basically on 2 items. The first one is technology. We continue to invest in technology on both sides of our business, that is the supply chain business and the people transport business. And as we put up these large format warehouses in the country, there is MHE that is required to optimize and run these warehouses efficiently, for which there will be a capex investment that is made. Besides that, we are really looking at growing this organization on the backbone of GST moving ahead. We look at large format warehousing and distribution to larger areas. Earlier distribution was happening only within the state. Now distribution from a large warehouse to more than one state is what we are looking at, and more consumer facing industries are coming up with these kind of models that they want logistics service providers to help them with. In addition to that, another area that we are looking at from Mahindra Logistics point of view is reverse logistics. Reverse logistics becomes a very large play, especially in the e-commerce business. As you know, they have returns of 20%, and these goods cannot be sitting in their production FCs, and therefore they need to be picked up and they need to be graded and then liquidated. And that's one of the focus areas that we have taken up in Mahindra Logistics to perform.
So reverse logistics, that is related to the e-commerce business segment. What is the kind of growth that you're expecting from this segment in FY19?
So we have been doing service to the e-commerce industry for the last 3 years, and we have a substantial business with the e-commerce industry. We perform various services for e-commerce, ranging from line haul to distribution. We do warehousing for them and also run sort centers for large e-commerce players in the country. So it is a growth engine for us, has been in the last 2 years and will be for the coming years also.